Hello and welcome back to the live stream. We're streaming at both Financial Summit and Black Box's YouTube channel today. So welcome in all the Financial Summit viewers. In today's video, we're going to go through my thesis of where I think we are in the cryptocurrency market, specifically on the Bitcoin side. And we are also going to talk about the upcoming launch of BangBox, which is our high frequency, low time frame scalping bot, which has been doing really well. And we're just about ready to come out of beta. That is launching on Monday, the 22nd. There will be a live stream on the launch, and we're gonna put our money where our mouth is and put our own money into the bot live, so you can get a little bit of a tutorial on what you need to do once we go live. So be sure to tune into that live stream. And in today's video, we're going to also give you a little sneak peek into the dashboard and what you can expect, so you can wrap your head around what you're going to be looking at when the day of the launch officially happens. Matt, welcome in. How are you doing?
Thanks, mate. Fantastic. For those of you who watch the Daily High, I'm Matt McGregor, host of that show with Tone Vase on the Financial Summit Network. I apologize for last night. I didn't have internet, so I found an alternative internet source now, and I'm working on that today to bring you the show tonight at home. Yeah, as Blue said, today is going to be just a quick show to have a look at the markets overall, but more so just to promote the fact that BangBox is launching on Monday, and we're bloody excited about that. So without any further ado, if you are interested in anything BangBox related, please use the links in the affiliate links and in the description below of this video. It'll take you to everything you need, but I urge you to join the Discord. We've got a very, very good community in that Discord right there. It's free to join, of course. You just need to follow the links in the description below. Great traders in there, great community in there, and a lot of all the information that you need with launch dates and other things. That we're bringing you BangBox on Monday, the first iteration of BangBox, but there's going to be a fleet of bots coming on the Black Box network that we have building out here. We'll have it probably at least 10 bots by the end of the year, all firing. Fantastic dashboard. You can allocate to all the different bots, or you can choose one or the other. It's a really, really great product that we're bringing to you totally for free. So without any further ado, take us away, Blue.
Yeah, so I want to share with you kind of my Wyckoff thoughts. Now, Wyckoff, for those who are unfamiliar with the Wyckoff method, it is a really, really old method. It came around over 100 years ago from a stock operator by the name of Richard D. Wyckoff, who came up with this style of trading. And what it's doing is it's just looking at a sideways consolidation and determining if that consolidation is showing characteristics of distribution, which would imply that smart money is selling to dumb money, which would imply a downside move, or if it's showing characteristics of accumulation, which would imply that dumb money is selling to smart money. When dumb money sells to smart money, it happens before a big move up. When smart money sells to dumb money, that's usually when you get a big move down or even a bear market. So I'm going to go through kind of some of the points here on my chart. What we're looking at here is a reaccumulation schematic. And we're looking at this as an accumulation because we're seeing a lot of characteristics of accumulation in this sideways consolidation. So you can see the similarities here. You know, this is the trading range.
That looks like you've falsified documents there just to make it tailor-made for it. It's insane. It's unbelievable. I don't think I've seen a better example. Now, I just to cut in for 1 second. I'm not a Wyckoff trader, but I love to listen to Blue's analysis on Wyckoff. And when you bring up an example like this, it makes me wish I was more versed in it. So please pay attention to this video. The reason I don't care as much about Wyckoff, but it's valid, is see the breakout that we have there. I can't see it because it's so small on my screen. But when in fact this does eventually break out, you'll see the comparison later on to alphanumerics. That will be when that wave flips green again, at exactly that point where it breaks out. So alphanumerics it is almost Wyckoff, but you only need to know the last part of it rather than knowing all the part through that the middle.
Yeah, Wyckoff for me is not an actionable trading system. It is a way for you to develop a thesis and a way for you to develop a bias that can be counter narrative to what you're seeing in the rest of the market. So there's no buy signal for me with this trading range. I don't treat it that way. But what I'm looking at is, what is the higher probability of this sideways consolidation? Because a consolidation is either going to go up or it's going to go down. If it's accumulation, it's going to go up. If it's distribution, it's going to go down. So I'm just taking a look to kind of get a closer look to the bias as to what is typically seen in an accumulation versus what is typically seen in distribution. And then I use other tools like alphanumerics for the actual signals, because alphanumerics is going to be clear as day. Here we are, boom, buy. And we'll put alphanumerics over this in just a moment. But the message I'm trying to relay to the community now is that a lot of the market is very bearish and calling for much lower levels. And based off of the characteristics of this consolidation, I think that they're wrong. And it's because the characteristics of price action that we're seeing in this trading range has more similarities to accumulation. So just food for thought and a way for you to develop your bias, which can influence your trading decisions on those more actionable indicators that we use.
Oh, I love it. Please continue. I love it.
Yeah. So there's a couple acronyms here. We don't need to do a deep dive into Wyckoff acronyms, but this stands for preliminary supply. I'll turn the volume on, and this is where kind of the sellers, the smart money begins to sell, which is what causes the sideways price action. So whenever smart money takes profits, they have a larger size of position than retail. So their moves definitely have an effect on the market. So when they do take profits, it's them taking profits that cause this whole sideways trading environment. Buyer's climax is simply just marking the top of the range. The shakeout is marking the bottom of the range. And then you have consolidation inside of our newly formed trading range. Most recently, we had a move to the downside where we're taking out some of the lows. Whenever you take out lows, pretty much every technical analysis style follows some sort of a trend where if you're taking out the lows, the assumption is lower levels. Wyckoff is the only strategy that I know of that actually has a place where you can have a fake out to the downside, and then the price action that follows that will indicate again what we can expect for future price for the next move up. So we have a spring here, and the spring is that fake out. And they call it a spring because you go down and then boom, it heads straight back up. And we're already seeing the beginning of that. So what I need to see moving forward.
I said it. I'm sorry to jump in once again, I have to reiterate. On Wednesday's show that I did with Baloo, I mentioned how at the bottom of prior to that spring there, what's it called? The bottom of that spring when we did put in that lower low, I got to be honest, Tone, Vase, and I were not bullish at that point. It's clear as day. I mentioned that there's a trade on the table once we had put in a higher low at that micro level. I said there's a trade on there, and I was looking at a few oscillators that crossed that made me interested. Sort of just past the low that we put in there at 53. But classical charting suggests that that's a bad spot to be breaking that channel. And I said on Wednesday's show, Baloo was bullish at that point. And kudos to you for finding that and being bullish at that point. I certainly wasn't as convicted as you were.
And the reason I was convicted was two reasons. First of all, sentiment. Sentiment is an underestimated indicator when you're in these markets. When sentiment is extremely low and everybody is bearish, well, who's there to sell? If everybody's bearish and they're going short, or everybody's bearish and they've sold their positions, who is left to sell? The herd is always wrong. 95% of traders lose money. That means that most of the people making the decisions who are going to perpetuate the narratives are going to be wrong. So sentiment was number one. Number two was alphanumerics. So alphanumerics printed both of these green diamonds in conjunction to all of the history of this consolidation. It just led me to believe, like, if we're going to have a fake out, you know, we're having this downside fake out move, but we've got really strong buy signals on alphanumerics. I'm not going to ignore that, and I'm going to further my bias to assume that this is indeed a spring. But we're not quite out of the woods yet, which is okay. Like, again, Wyckoff is not that actionable. It's about observing the consolidation. And what we're seeing here is the beginning of a spring, but we don't have confirmation of a spring. So right now, I'll just draw a little line as to what I need to see. So we've come out, we had the fake out, and now we're back on top of the lower end support of the trading range. What we need is this level to hold. So this is where it becomes actionable. For those who are wondering from a price perspective point of view, where you can take a position off of a spring is right here. So we're coming down and testing. What we need to do after the test is take out the local high. At the moment that we take out this local high, that is your buy signal right there. And that will probably correlate with a lot of moving averages. It's also going to get, you know, if that happens in a few weeks, we're going to see the modified lucid SAR on alphanumerics come down to that point as well. So it starts to hit a lot of those confluence points. So that's really the buy signal right there. So right now, what we're waiting for, what we need to observe is that retest. So, and that's currently what we're in right now. And the test can take a week. The test can take 2 weeks. We don't know. It depends on volume. It depends on news. It depends on a lot of factors. But overall, TLDR, you know, get to the point. What are you saying? I'm bullish. I'm bullish on this consolidation. I believe that this consolidation is going to result in a breakout. I think that breakout is going to kick off phase two of the bull market. Phase two of the bull market is the most exciting part of the bull market. It's usually when, you know, the market sucks the most people in. And that's what I'm seeing in the markets.
Yeah, sensational, mate. Sensational. I'll run through some charts now, if you like, which will just, it'll really bounce off what you're talking about here of where I think there's correlation between what you're looking at and what I'm looking at as well. Am I on screen share right now, brother?
You are now, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, I was going to start at the monthly time frame and just I'll go through this really quick like I would on a normal daily high show. Monthly time frame I really like. We got to the MRI top here on the previous month's candle. We did have a really good correction down to 50, we'll call it 53, 52.8. And we have recovered this month with you know, we're mid-month now. It looks fantastic that we've recovered the 7 simple moving average on the monthly right now. I don't know where this month's going to end, so I can't speculate if this is going to end as a green you know, month or a red month on the MRI count. But let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. We would have to get above 71,500 for this to become a green one candle, which is unlikely. I like this thing resetting. And then if we get next month's candle coming in anywhere above 60,700, that'll become a green one on next month's candle. So just to reiterate that, either we get above 67,000 this month, this becomes a 1, making next month's candle a green 2 above a green 1, green star candle. Absolutely fantastic. That would be a terrific month. Or we get a consolidated month with a great, you know, dragonfly doji or something here. A great, what else would you call this candle if we finish green here?
A hammer.
Yeah. Hammer. Yep. And then we can start the count again next month. That would be fantastic. So that's all I have to say on the monthly time frame. All the oscillators look fine. The weekly time frame is where we can start to look more at that Wyckoff and how relevant it is. I believe it is. As Baloo mentioned, the modified Lucid Star is coming down. And this is what I was saying, how the comparisons between Wyckoff and Alpha Numerics, they're there right now. And Baloo, you pointed out brilliantly, when this was all green wave up until the top. And then when we came down here on this candle, this wave flipped red, putting us into a cash position and fully consolidated in this period. This is where you can either go short or just raise cash at this point. And we're not really fully locked and loaded until this wave turns green again. But when this wave turns green again, you want exposure. And that would, like this month or next month, will be very, very clear that when this wave turns green again on the Wyckoff, whatever the word for the Wyckoff pattern is that you've got set up there now, that'll be jumping the creek. At that same time, when that wave turns green, we'll be jumping the creek on Wyckoff, which is really, really exciting. I really like that the EXA has had its cross. This is the Socrates' EXA, which we were looking at for months. It crossed at a really low point, which I like. Not the lowest point in history or anything like that, but we want to see these crosses like here, like back here. These are the crosses that we really want to see on the EXA. I really value the EXA. The RSI is starting to, is back above 50 and it's starting to look strong again. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. The Copic curve is rounding off here. A lot of stars are starting to align here. Like, you don't want to be buying. You want to be buying when this thing's crossing back above the 0 mark, like it has right here, like it has right here. If you look at on the charts, when these things cross over bullish, this is really when the price starts to kick off here. Bang, we get a great kickoff here. Where's the next one? Here, it crosses here. You can see like the purple phantom indicators. It's connected. The purple phantom indicators. That's why I built it into Alpha Numerics. And if we can get above the 0 mark, in the next few weeks, and if it all coincides really well with jumping that creek on Wyckoff, with the green wave, the wave turning green again, with us getting a purple phantom signal coming in, when we get a green star MRI weekly candle here, if those things all come in all at once, it is go time. I'll just repeat that. Green star, weekly green star on the MRI, the wave turning green, jumping the creek on Wyckoff, getting a purple phantom signal, getting the EXA with a great cross here, above all the moving averages on Alpha Numerics, putting in a higher high on the classical charting, lower high, higher high here. Wow. If you're not long at that point, I don't know what to tell you. To tell you. Don't lament not getting in at the lower prices. Doesn't matter about that. That sun is set on that at the moment. Make sure you're long when all those 5 stars align. Believe me. And I'll just finish off with a 4-hour time frame right now. See if what we got cooking here. We had a great cross here. We've had a great run up. We've come back down to retest the 30. We've stayed above the 30. I don't know, guys. I really like it. I'm seeing any correction now as a buy the dip. I'm seeing any correction right now as a buy the dip. Don't fear the Reaper. The stars are really, really starting to align here. Now, just to finish off, and I know I said finish off twice here, but bear with me. Let's have a look at the reason why hopefully you're all here today. Let's have a look at BangBox, all right? And where we are right now. Now, I'm looking at BangBox here with the always on. If you caught yesterday's show, Wednesday's show, I should say, there's going to be 2 iterations of BangBox. There's the BangBox with the Alpha Numerics filter on, which means, and you have the dealer's choice which one you want to choose. But we have the Alpha Numerics with we have the BangBox with the Alpha Numerics filter on, which means it'll only be active when the wave is green. Because this is a long only bot, it's a much more effective bot during green waves. It just has a better profit factor. It has a better rate of return on each trade. Because we use 100% rollover, it's a better bot overall. However, there's another bot which is always on. So it'll take trades during the red wave. Now that has a worse profit factor. It has worse drawdown. It makes more bad trades. However, the the system itself is still overall profitable. It's less profitable, but it's still profitable overall, which means it still wins more trades than it loses, and the winning trades are greater than the losing trades. So even though it'll have more losing trades, it makes more trades and is actually more profitable overall. So you can choose if you want a high performance bot that only trades 6 months of the year, or do you want to have a lower performing bot that makes more trades and actually makes a better return overall? Your choice, what you like. But let's keep it off for now because the wave is still red and we want to view something. As it stands right now, we're in no trade. You can see this is on our back end that we know that prep's coming, like prepare for a trade, but the trade didn't come in. Prepare for a trade, but the trade didn't come in. Prepare for a trade, but it didn't come in. So we never got long throughout any of this period right now, and we're glad we didn't get long. But once we start making our way above this pink line I've put in here, we're eligible for a trade at any time. So I really like this. We're just waiting, patiently waiting. This is drawing down, drawing nearer. It's trailing the price. Once we start to get above it, whether it's down here we get above it or up here we get above it, and all the conditions are met, Bangbox will fire another trade. And this is in the back end what you can expect from this fantastic bot that we've built. Sorry, I'm trying to make this screen bigger. And this is what you can hope to expect. And if you saw Wednesday's show, I really clearly defined that these are just indicative numbers because that anyone who shows you back testing results, they're not alluding to the fact that this is in a vacuum. So you got entered at exactly the right price. There was no slippage. 100% you got into your price. But overall, you can see number go up. And that's the thing that we're focusing on. A starting initial capital at the start of this year of $10,000 has now got you 138,000. It's a 1,386% return in a vacuum. It won't be as good as that. It'll be a variation of that. But you can see this is what we want when we want to achieve something like this. But as long as we're beating this blue line right here, which is your buy and hold strategy, your stack and sats, your overall position is accumulating more Bitcoin or more USDT, and you're building your wealth. I'm coming back to you now. I'm coming off screen share. And are you there? Go ahead. Please take us through what the dashboard looks like, mate.
Yeah, so I think it's a good time to give you guys a sneak peek into what to expect on the launch on the 22nd. We got a couple questions. Tyler asks, we're showing the TradingView UI. Will this choice be on the black box dashboard? Everything that you're going to do is happening on the black box dashboard. So we'll go through some of that. I also got another question from Eugenia. Have you considered managing accounts or making a fund? We've considered it, but that's a whole other world with a lot of legal liability, and at this point, that's not what we're going to be doing. Effectively, what we've done is we've taken, Matt's ability to come up with really profitable strategies, and we've automated it in a way as though Matt would be trading for a fund anyways. So you do have access to a fund in a sense, because the bot is trading on your behalf and doing so without minimums. When you participate in a hedge fund, a lot of the times, they're asking for $250,000 for you to even be a client. So, this has a $500 minimum. It's a very cheap and accessible fund for you to participate in.
And ultimately you have total control as well. You can, look, as I said, we're going to have a whole fleet of bots here, and you can review the performance on each bot. You are doing your own allocation. You have the ability to stop the bot at any time. You have the ability to add more to the trade. You can readjust which bot you have allocated to. You are in control. We're giving you the tools for free, and you can turn it on and off. That's better than a fund as far as I'm concerned. You don't have some Harvard schmo managing your money. You're managing your money.
All right, we're not going to be able to get to all the questions. So, if you guys want your questions answered 24/7, we're not live all the time, but we are in the Discord all the time across everybody involved in the project. We are global. We have representatives in the US. We have representatives in Europe. We have representatives in Asia. We're all over. So do check out the links down below and get into the Discord, because that is your one-stop shop for any question that you have related to the bots, related to our strategies, related to general questions about trading, related to general questions about Bitcoin custody. We're there for everything. So check out the links below.
Plenty of fun too. A lot of shit posting, a lot of memes. I've made some great friends in the Discord group. You see the same familiar. There's 1,000 people in the Discord group as it stands right now, and probably 50 are really vocal. Some of them I've never heard of. They're in there. I know that they're reading the messages, but they've never ever commented. And then you get the same bros and girls who you get really familiar with, because they posting really good stuff, and a lot of fun as well. A lot of fun.
All right, so let's dive into the dashboard here. So if you haven't already created a BlackBox account, just follow the links down below. It takes 2 seconds, email, password, and you'll have a BlackBox account. And then you will be prompted. There's a setup process for connecting the API for BitGet to BlackBox. We will have Blowfin by the end of the month, but currently we only support BitGet. So just go through the prompts for connecting BitGet to this website. But this is your dashboard. And we are ready to set up the bot. I have put the account minimum. I've put 0.01 BTC into the account for me to set it up right now and get it going for you guys live. We're going to do the real allocation on the launch. We're going to put at least 10 grand in on launch day, but today we're just going to show you what it looks like to put in the account minimums. So we'll go over to the left here where it says right below dashboard, you can see bots. We're going to create a new bot. This is not live yet. This will be live on the 22nd. It's just live internally. We're going to select the exchange that we have connected our API to. I have connected BitGet. We are then going to select the strategy. Now, this is where you have a choice to make. Like Matt already discussed, you have the choice to trade 24/7. As it stands right now, the wave for alphanumerics is red. So if you choose uptrends only, your bot will not go live until that red wave turns to green. Okay, you get better performance with that with the individual trades, but you get half as many trades. This option is just Bangbox, and that will trade 24/7. You get twice as many trades, but overall, the individual trade isn't as profitable. However, because you're taking twice as many trades, and this is a compounding strategy, your account size does actually perform better. So it's dealer's choice. Do you want to trade only during the good times, or do you want to trade 24/7? When this launches on the 22nd, it's possible, but I don't think we're going to get a green wave flip. But if we do, then great. You can choose either or. But it's looking like the red wave will still be intact on the 27th. So if you do want to jump into trading right away, you're going to choose this top option.
And when the wave is green, they're identical, by the way.
Yes.
They're identical when the wave is green.
Yeah. I'm then going to select the pair. We are trading Bitcoin. There's only one, not much of a choice right there. And then the margin. So this is another decision for you. Do you want to be trading? Do you want to accumulate more dollars, or do you want to accumulate more Bitcoin? If you want to accumulate more dollars, you have to put Tether into the bot. It's going to buy and sell Bitcoin, and it's going to buy and sell it as Tether. If you are trying to accumulate more Bitcoin, meaning that you can handle the downside volatility of holding Bitcoin, you would put Bitcoin into the bot. Okay, so there's two choices. It depends on what you are trying to get more of. I am a Bitcoin maxi, so I don't care about Bitcoin's downside volatility. I am putting Bitcoin into this bot. Now we get account balance allocation. This is, again, your choice. what a lot of people do is we're encouraging people to create a sub account, and all of the available funds that you want to put into the bot, put it into the sub account. If you do that, you can crank this all the way to the maximum, which is going to cap out at 90%. Let me just move my camera over here so you can see. Oops. Uno momento.
Blue, I'll just get you to reiterate that fact. Please take advantage of using the sub account, because that way you're separating your normal trading account with exclusively just a bot account. You want to have, ideally, a sub account that just runs the bot, and it can just accumulate and just set it and forget it and leave it for 2 or 3 years and just accumulate as much Bitcoin as you can, or USDT as you can. It's just completely automated. It'll just roll over. You win, lose, or draw. You just keep rolling it over forever. And then you can have your main account where you can just trade yourself, the leverage trade, and do whatever you want to do in that account. If you have it just from one account, it'll get messy. It'll get messy because it'll use whatever you choose right here of all your account. So ideally, you want to have it separate. That's
another way of kind of explaining that is we're going to have more than 2 bots. We're launching 2 on the 22nd, but we have plans for at least 10 different types of strategies: scalping strategies, long-term strategies, dollar cost average strategies. We're going to have a whole bunch of different strategies from high risk to low risk. And if you don't separate them with sub accounts, they're going to interfere. You're going to have the scalping bot. You're going to have the investment bot buy Bitcoin, and then the scalping bot is going to take you out of the position. So you got to kind of get used to separating these things. But yeah,
it's very easy to set up.
Yeah.
And and if you join the Discord group, there's tutorials on how to do it, video tutorials. There's a PDF, tutorial that'll help you walk you through. We'll support you very, very closely on how to do it. Once you've done it, you'll be happy that you have done it.
Now that the dashboard is complete, I'm going to be working on tutorial videos today. So tutorial videos that are much shorter and less rambly will be coming out for you guys. But this is the live ramble version of the tutorial. So yeah, like I said, the slider, it goes up to a maximum of 90% of the account. The reason we keep that 10% in the account is to accommodate fees and accommodate book spread in times of volatility. So if the market's really moving quickly and our bot sends an order and that order isn't fast enough and we get a discrepancy in price, you'll actually get a failed order and you won't get into the trade. So what we decided as a fail-safe to ensure that the bot always gets into the trade for you is to reserve that 10% of capital to cover any spread and cover any fees or any discrepancies that would be coming from the order book. So the maximum is 90%.
Yeah, that's a really clever feature, guys. Everything's been thought of here, and to help benefit you, things that you might not have ever known or understood.
So, I moved myself over a little too early here. So now that we've slid that slider all the way to 90%, I'm going to go ahead and press Create Bot. Going to get a little disclaimer saying that this is the beta version. We'll be adjusting that once we're ready for fully endorsed public release, but go ahead and create bot. And that's it. We're done. That's it. You don't need to do anything else at this point. You
don't need to do anything else. You don't need to do anything else ever again.
Yeah, other than just, move your profits from one account to another. So the status currently, it's waiting for the next signal. We don't have a signal on, so it's waiting for the next signal. And that's it. Some of the actions you can take if you do want to pause the bot at any point, if you think the market's getting crazy or whatever, you can press stop, and you can also delete the bot. It's entirely up to you. You are in full control of how the bot is, how often the bot is trading, and that's it. I don't really have anything else to say. It's kind of anticlimactic. It's done. That's it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a duck on the water. This dashboard is so simplistic and so straightforward. It looks like there's nothing there, but this has taken I mean, really, this has taken 2 years to build. This duck underwater is going nuts. There's a lot going on behind this curtain of like an Apple iPod with like no functionality. There's a lot behind the curtain here, and it was difficult to make.
So I will field a few questions, and then we're going to sign off. But we've got a couple questions that I'm going to answer. If you guys are watching the replay, or if you just want to, you have questions that you want to ask in private, we also have a support channel in the Discord. When you open up a support ticket, that's a private chat with the team. So if there are questions that you want to ask privately, you can do that as well. All of that's in the Discord. But we got a question here. How about having the same bot running on Blowfin and BitGet? Could I have different results? In theory, yes, you could have different results running the bot on BitGet and Blowfin, because it depends on the available liquidity in the order book when your order hits that book. So one exchange might get you a far better price than the other exchange. So if you want to diversify across exchanges, you can totally do that. Yeah, that's a really good question. But yeah, these are the facets of the strategy that are kind of outside of our control. We can't control the order book liquidity. That's market dependent. But yeah, depending on the market conditions, you can see different amounts of liquidity. Want to take a look at Gari Network once. We're not going to take a look at any alts today. Just wanted to give you a recap on what we think is going on with Bitcoin. And honestly, the alts, just, as a blanket statement, alts aren't going to perform well until Bitcoin breaks out. So until Bitcoin's out of this consolidation to the upside, there's really not much to cover on the altcoins, because the altcoins are still in a position of following. So they're not leading.
And once again, no altcoin for over a long period of time is going to outperform this bot on Bitcoin. I'll make that statement right now, because the way that this bot's designed to accumulate BTC or USD, good luck picking the altcoin that's doing 1,000% a year on year compounded. If you know it, please message me privately, and we'll have a chat. And
yeah,
good luck.
We have had private investors reach out to us with the desire of taking our automated strategies and applying them to alts on the quest to outperform Bitcoin. And what we have done is we've done everything we could to try and get close. Honestly, like Bitcoin is consistently outperforming the alts with this strategy.
It's soon as you realize that it's a fool's errand to try and do that, the better off you are.
All right, guys, we're going to close things out there. Thank you all for joining in. If you want any of your questions answered, again, hit up the Discord. You can like and comment and share this video if you think anybody would find value from these automated trading strategies. Launch is again on the 22nd. That is this coming Monday, where Bangbox will be going live, so you'll have access to that in your dashboards. We will also be going live on the day of the launch, and we're going to be putting some money into that bot, some real money, not the minimums. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this content, leave it a like, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Matt.
Yeah, thanks for your time, guys. It's been a pleasure to be with you, Baloo, and thank you for everyone for watching. Please join